welcome back. In this week's video, I wanted to do something a little bit more lighthearted after last week's pretty serious video. I really wanted to just come on here before we get started though and say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to everyone who reached out to me after that video and either said that you experienced something similar with OCD or with your emetophobia. And I had made some really awesome connections with people that I had no idea even suffered from these things. So that just kind of goes to show that you never know what someone is going through. And if you speak up about it, 9 times out of 10, other people around you in your daily life are experiencing the exact same things. So thank you so much for all of your kind words and support. I really, really, really appreciate all of you from the bottom of my heart. And I also just wanted to say, if any of you are experiencing any of what I talked about in my last video, please feel free to reach out to me. You are not alone in this, and I will be more than happy to chat with you about anything that you're going through. My DMs are open 100% if you guys just want to reach out. I will be so happy to chat with you. But anyways, on to this week's video. I wanted to do a little bit more of a lighthearted, more fun video. I am a dog person. Everyone who knows me already knows this. I do everything with my dogs. Mason comes to work with me sometimes. They're my whole life. And our cat Janice is my husband's whole life. They are just the most fun, energetic, enjoyable creatures in our whole lives. And we just could not imagine life without them. So I wanted to do a little meet my pets video so you guys could see kind of their personalities and what they like to do, their favorite treats, kind of what they do on a daily basis. I thought that would be kind of fun. So yeah, let's get started. So anyone who knows me at all knows that this is my most special guy in the whole world. This is my first baby. This is Mason. He is going to be 6 this year, and he is a Maltese Chihuahua mix. The only reason we know for sure that that's what he is because we met his parents. We bought him before, this was, like I said, 6 years ago, before we really knew a lot about adopting and knew a lot about, how to go through that process. And in the state of Tennessee, I know where we adopted Hank and Janice from, you have to be 21 to adopt. And neither of us were 21 at the time. So we got Mason from a little coffee shop in White House, Tennessee called Authentic Coffee Company. And their dogs had had puppies. And Mason was the very last one of the litter, the runt, if you will. So I saw a little ad on, I think it was Craigslist, actually. I was so desperate. I was like, let me look on Craigslist. So I got on there, and he's getting down. I got on there, and I saw this ad for puppies, and I thought, oh my gosh, they are so precious. I'll insert some baby pictures of them just whenever throughout this video so you guys can kind of see how much they've grown. But Mason was the last one to be picked out of the whole litter. He was the last one left when we got there. And when I saw him, I just connected with him immediately. He was hiding behind a little chair. They have a little porch situation outside of their coffee shop. It's so cute. If you're local, I would totally recommend going and checking them out. Anyways, we went out there and I saw Mason just crouched down, hiding under this chair. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, he is perfect. He is everything. At the time, my now husband, then boyfriend, and I were in the market for a pug. I always wanted a pug. I thought that pugs were just the cutest thing in the world until I saw Mason. And we've had him for almost 6 years now. He is my special guy. Like I said earlier, he goes to work with me sometimes. I look at Mason, I just think how much he has impacted my life and how much we've been through together in 6 years. He's been with us. He lived with me at my parents' house before Trey and I moved in together. He moved into our first apartment with us. He's lived with us ever since. We planned a wedding. He was our dog. We just anything that we've been through, he's been there with us. I mean, some of the hardest times when my granddad was going through chemo and radiation, he was there. He's been with us through it all, through buying our house. He's just kind of our constant. And so on to our middle child, Hank. Hank, we think he's a rescue, so we think he's golden retriever mixed with chocolate lab. He is a big boy. We never expected him to be as big as he is. So when Trey and I were in the market for our second baby, we went to Nashville Humane, and all of their puppies were being put up for. So we were walking out, and the way that it's set up, there's a counter here to talk to like the volunteers and the people who work there, and then there's like a wall right here in the front, and there's little bubbles. And you can see the dogs through the little bubbles. They have their own like bigger rooms in there, instead of, being with the rest of, the dogs or the cats. They kind of get a little separate area. Anyways, I saw Hank through the little bubble, and I was like, that's a puppy. There's a puppy over there. And we went back there, and I immediately fell in love with Hank. We both did. Hank, where Mason is my baby and Janice is my husband's, Hank is an everyone dog. Everyone who meets Hank, I hope, loves him. If you don't, then don't come to our house. I mean, it's just plain and simple. He's our baby. He is so special. He is such the baby of the bunch, even though Janice really is, there's Janice again. Even though Janice really is the baby of the bunch, he's just so, sorry, it was cat time. Her dad's not here right now, so I have to pay attention to her. He is just the baby. He sleeps in the bed with us every single night. He has to have our attention constantly. When we're on the couch, he likes to get right up between us, as close as he possibly can, and stretch all the way out so we can't touch each other. That's his favorite. But yeah, Hank is 3 now. He's gonna be 4 this year. I can't believe that we're already to the point of him being 4 years old. That does not seem possible at all. It seems like he was just a baby yesterday, and now he's our big 4-year-old. But yes, Hanky is our little baby. We could not love him any more than we already do. He's such a special angel. But anyways, now we're moving on to Janice, the actual baby of the house. Janice will be 3 this year. We think is a Maine Coon mixed. We don't know what she's mixed with. You just saw me holding her. She is a daddy's girl. She does not take too kindly to me being around Trey, loving Trey, kissing Trey, hugging Trey. She does not like it. Anytime that I come home from work and I get here first, she's just like, oh, whatever, it's fine. And then when Trey walks in the door, it's like, oh, I have been waiting for you to get here all day long. She is such a daddy's girl, and it is the cutest thing in the whole world. For those of you who know my husband, he's the biggest cat person in the world. He just connects with cats on a level that I have never been able to. I love cats so much, and having Janice has made me realize how fun it can be to have a cat in the mix of all the dogs. But they have a special bond for sure. She also came from Nashville Humane. We went in and we were looking for a cat. I knew that Trey just needed to have a cat in the house. So when I saw her, they have these cages for the cats, and they have really, really tiny kittens and bigger cats. And I saw Janice, and she was somewhere in between. Tiny little baby infant cats scare me because they're so fragile, and they just seem so tiny, and they make me nervous to have that tiny of a cat around our dogs. So Janice was somewhere in between. She wasn't a newborn kitten, but she also wasn't a grown cat. I think she was about 3 months old is what how old they thought she was. So I saw Janice, and I thought she is a beautiful cat. She's a tortoise shell is what we've been told from our vet. I don't know very much about cats, but her coloring is tortoise shell. She is absolutely gorgeous. She's a big cat. We don't know exactly how much she weighs. She is due to go to the vet here before too long, so we'll figure out exactly how much she weighs. She is the perfect addition to our mix. That's kind of where we've cut it off for now. We've had Janice for almost 3 years at this point. We're kind of satisfied with our pack for right now. There's, you know, we have a household of 5, and that's kind of how we like it. Everyone gets along for the most part. Mason and Janice, they love each other very much, but Mason always wants to play, and Janice doesn't always want to play with him. So that's kind of the situation that we find ourselves in sometimes. But other than that, everyone gets along so well, and they're just the sweetest, and I don't know what I would do without them. But now I'm going to switch over and kind of show you guys what they do in their daily life. So let's go. I come home during lunch to let them out every single day and play with them for a while. We still like for him to be able to go in and out and move around just so he's not so confined in there. We do crate him and Mason during the day just so Janice, can have some time to herself. And mainly it's because of Mason. Like I told you guys earlier, he likes to play and likes to be right on her all the time, and sometimes she does not appreciate it. So this is Mason's little cage. We've had this cage ever since we got Mason, and his little bed is in there with his water, and he can also stand up and turn completely around in his cage. He's pretty small, so it works out perfect. So a lot of you guys might be asking why Hank doesn't have a bed, but Mason does. And that is because even at almost 4 years old, Hank is still a chewing machine. We've tried everything, just regular beds to those Kong brand indestructible beds. Blankets, towels, anything that you can think of, and we have found them shredded within hours every single time. So if you guys have any suggestions for that, what we should do about that, please let us know, because we have literally tried everything. He's not in there for very long at a time, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to show you guys exactly what he's doing right now. 9 times out of 10, this is where he is. So it's not that big of a concern, but we still would like for him to have something in there. It's not that we really care whether or not we spend money on this stuff for them. It's, we don't want him eating a towel. Like, that just isn't ideal for his digestive system. And when I tell you he shreds it, I mean, he shreds it, swallows it whole, and then has problems later digesting it. So that's something that we try our best to avoid at all costs. We would never want to put anything in his crate that could hurt him. So we just kind of have avoided it for right now. We're always home on the weekends. Other than maybe going out with some friends to dinner or going to church, we don't really stay away from the house for too very long. We're homebodies. So that's kind of what we do. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for that, please let me know. It would be very, very, very much appreciated. But yeah, if you guys have any questions at all about Hank Mason or Janice, please feel free to comment below. Please feel free to text, DM me, just whatever you want to do. Also, if you guys have any ideas for videos that you want me to post, please let me know. I am just starting out, so I'm kind of not very good at coming up with ideas for videos. I am up for any suggestions that you guys have, and I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, other than that, feel free to follow me on my social medias. They are down below, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just whatever you guys want to do, Snapchat as well. So, yeah, follow me on there. And like I said, if you have any ideas for videos, please let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.